to the 81st Annual Humboldt Strawberry Festival here. We get ready to kick off for the Grand Floats Parade.
Yeah.
It's going to be a beautiful day for a parade. It's warm, but there's a big crowd on hand as we get ready to watch Main Street and the law enforcement vehicles make their way, which means we officially have kicked off the West Tennessee Strawberry Festival.
I think it would be well in order, John, for us to pause and also say thank you to all the law enforcement that's here today. You don't just think because you see an X amount of people in actual uniform, but there are plainclothes officers everywhere here today.
Absolutely. And we learned earlier many of those are mixed in with the crowd for obvious reasons. So if there were to be a situation arise, they're not always identified that they're there. So they're watching what's going on, keeping crowd control, keeping vehicles where they need to be. And I know sometimes people get unhappy with them when they tell you to do this, but there's a reason why they're here and doing what they do, and we appreciate their support. Well, we're watching Main Street. We're looking down to our east, and we see the law enforcement vehicles begin to make their way this way. We'll kick it off with the motorcycles from the Tennessee Highway Patrol.
One of the things different this year as well, folks, as you're listening from home or wherever you may be listening in your automobile, there are no band judges this year. It's just float judges and judging the cars and that kind of thing. So the performance may be a little bit different and quicker. So as they're listening to these bands, they want to keep that in mind.
Yeah, absolutely. Not judging those this year. So several bands are scheduled to be in today's parade. There were several yesterday and all excellent bands. And good to see many of the home county bands. And a couple of them I haven't seen before in the past. We're here in a part of yesterday's Junior Floats Parade.
We need to work on getting a pest control place next year to sponsor and just spray around our tent.
There's definitely ants gathered down here on the ground behind us. I think they know when we arrive. They make it, or they get under the shade.
Yes, they're just trying to get cool. That's
And as you can see, the law enforcement vehicles are stopping here for us in front of the reviewing stand as they get ready to kick off this edition and Grand Floats Parade of the West Tennessee Strawberry Festival. Kind of new here as they stop for us.
Yeah, 81st annual Strawberry Festival. Is that one of the longest parades in our state? I mean, I wonder.
I would say so, definitely. And here they go to kick off and move on down the parade route. The Jackson Police Department also represented there, the Madison County Sheriff's Department. And here's the host group, the Humboldt Police Department. And their new cars, two Fords there, an Explorer, and I'm not sure what the other Ford is they're driving now.
Yeah, and Raynard Buchanan, our police chief, is driving on the far side.
There's Curtis Baxter. Good to see Curtis today. He gets a good job today. He gets to drive.
That's right. Soak in that air conditioning, right there.
Definitely so. Coming up next, the Gibson County Sheriff's Department and their SUV waving to the crowd.
That's right.
Youngster there in the back, and some of our deputies here from Gibson County. And our color guard going to follow behind them.
This is from Northside High School in Jackson, the U.S. Air Force Junior ROTC, where they focus on discipline, honor, and respect. They are presenting the colors today, and as they do, a great hand from the crowd today. And I'm glad to see that. People standing and cheering, that's for sure.
Presenting the American flag along with the Tennessee flag. We appreciate all our armed forces and what they do to protect this country and provide what we have today. Without the American soldier, we wouldn't be here, my friends.
That's right. And now comes the DARE vehicle. Is that not? Is that the Sheriff Gibson County DARE
This
vehicle?
is from the Gibson County Sheriff. This is the school resource officer's vehicle.
Oh, okay.
They've got two of these. Now they've been showing those off here recently. They're fairly new vehicles. And a great job they do.
That one goes to the Gibson County High School, and then this other one has the Medina logo on it, so South Gibson. That's excellent.
And they come through. And we'll still have some more law enforcement officers. Some are going to be out walking today, and some are going to be in the vehicles. And it looks like the Gibson County Sheriff and Chief Deputy are walking today. Yesterday they were riding. Today they're walking.
Really?
That's a long walk and a hot walk.
Yeah, he probably, after doing that yesterday, said, not tomorrow. I don't think so.
And he's got a youngster walking there in the midst of him.
That may be one of his kids. I know he's got a couple of kids.
Yeah. So she's enjoying that today.
Oh, yeah.
They make their way up the parade route here on Main Street, downtown Humboldt. We're across the Humboldt Higher Education Center, the old Main Street Elementary School. Again, we thank you so much for listening. I'll have photographs of the parade up a little later on today on our Facebook page. So if you missed this or wasn't able to be here, you can see some of the floats and pictures of those and the bands and different entries in today's parade.
Yes, sir. The sheriff came prepared today, too. He's got that bottle of water in his hand.
He is ready for that. You'll need it today.
That's right.
And I always like to check out their shoes. He's prepared shoe-wise today, too. They're not the real uncomfortable shoes.
That's right.
And they wave to the crowd and pass through. Sheriff Paul Thomas, Gibson County, and Chief Deputy Danny Lewis.
That's right. They're getting their picture taken for the Humboldt Chronicle that'll come out next week. And you want to make sure and purchase that Chronicle because it's going to have all kinds of photos.
Oh, absolutely.
Information in that.
And, of course, his official vehicle, the sheriff's vehicle, follows behind.
Yeah, the Chief Deputy Danny Lewis, he was walking beside Paul Thomas.
Yeah, he's walking today, and their vehicles, of course, are following behind, driven by other folks today. Of course, Danny Lewis was with the Humboldt Police Department for many years.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He was, I believe, involved in the DARE program back when I was in middle school.
All right.
So he's been a long-time law enforcement officer here in Gibson County. The Tennessee Highway Patrol follows next in their SUV as that trooper is waving to the crowd. Appreciate all the job they do. And coming up next, the Welcome Girls, bringing the official banner of the West Tennessee Strawberry Festival as they officially open this parade. Something these young ladies will remember for many, many years.
Oh, yeah.
And they come up the parade route here and wave to the crowd and welcome, folks. And they'll all stop, of course, for their official picture to be made.
This is what is exciting right here. These bands, this is what my wife always loved about the parades and all was because she used to play in band in high school. And to hear these kids learning these musical instruments, man, I tell you what, that's exciting.
Absolutely. A lot of work and a lot of practice. You're a musician, so you know what kind of practice goes in into performing.
I don't play wind instruments, though.
I tried the trumpet when I was in junior high. That lasted 3 weeks, and we returned the trumpet, and I didn't play anymore.
Yeah.
I'm always amazed to watch some of the talent that these folks have.
And how they march and sync. That takes practice.
Oh, absolutely. Now here's the home band, the Humboldt Junior Senior High School Band performing today.
Uniforms, don't they?
They have. Their uniforms are very unique. They're like those soft style of shirts.
Nice.
Yeah, the Humboldt Junior Senior High School Marching Band, the Viking Pride Band.
And that band has improved a lot over the last couple of years.
When the new band director took it over, very, very small, not much had been done in a while, and they've increased in size, and, you know, they are impressive. They've gotten good.
And we got the Berry mascot coming up here. And look at that truck. Can you tell what kind of truck that is, John?
I'm not sure on the old vehicles, but I love it. I'd like to have it.
Oh, man, I'll tell you.
And Mr. Berry waves to the crowd and his official escort riding with him or her. We don't know who that person is.
That's right.
That's in the uniform.
Do they ever reveal that?
Sometimes I think they do. I think it really depends on the person.
Oh, okay.
I know that's a hot thing to be in today.
Yeah, they're ready to get to the end of the street, I'm sure.
And, of course, the Berry mascot at many of the different events. And coming up next, Miss Mary Key Rowe, who is the festival honoree this year. She's riding with some of the grandchildren and waving to the crowd today, a longtime volunteer of the West Tennessee Strawberry Festival, and also served as one of the queens back in the 1970s.
Former business owner of, the gift company and then the pharmacy.
City Drug Company for
That's
a long
right.
time. Her husband, Bill, driving the vehicle there, and they're in their convertible. Of course, they were walking yesterday, so a little nicer to get to ride.
That's right. That's right.
Coming up next, this is going to be some folks from the city of Humboldt. They're our dedication this year for the festival, and they are sure dedicated individuals. They do to make this all happen.
Yes.
And to keep it clean and organized. Mr. Willie Reed and his staff, and there's Willie riding in his brand new SUV. He was proud of that, talking about it yesterday.
That's right, Willie Reed, and then you also have Mr. Graves. City of Humboldt Public Works, they do a lot of the work in this festival. You can't imagine.
Oh, absolutely.
Just picking up the trash and keeping everything looking nice each day. I'll tell you what, that's a busy time, and now they're pulling all of them through the parade. There you go.
See several familiar faces.
That's right.
They get to ride. They've been working this morning. They hadn't been just sitting. They've been working all day. See a few folks. There's Chuck Plunkett there waving at us.
Yeah.
A lot of good folks there working for the city of Humboldt. Here's the antique fire truck. Always been a popular one in the parade. Got to ride on that as a youngster.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I'll tell you what. And they got little kids in there. That's a nice truck right there. And it still runs and operates, I'll tell you what.
And they work on it a lot to get it ready for the parade.
I would imagine. Yes.
And coming up next here, more of the, of course, there's going to be a lot of cars in this parade, and we'll tell you who these folks are that are riding as we come along. Some are identified and some are not. So
yeah, this is going to be an honoree here, but it's not really identified who
it's
that
from one of the
is.
Humboldt Hall of Fame. I know that, but I don't have his name in front of me.
That is Casey Rogers.
I believe so. Yes, sir.
That is Casey Rogers.
Yes, sir.
He is the defensive coordinator of the New York Jets.
Yes.
Come back to town for the festival.
Mayor Marvin Sykes in his bright strawberry colors today. Look at Marvin's jacket
Look
there.
at that jacket. You won't be able to miss him today. You'll know where he's at all day long. This is the mayor. His wife riding in there with his grandson in the front.
I know the grandchildren are loving that today.
Oh, he's got a grandson on the back of the truck. Yeah.
There's the mayor.
That's right. He loves this week. Well, he loves this town.
He's a people person, so this is perfect for him. He loves the parade. But,
that's right.
And of course, he was been involved in the parade for many years too, Seth. He was, I guess you'd say, parade marshal for many years. He helped down there organize the lineup. Did that for a long time.
That's right. Now you got the people that have made this week happen as far as organizing it for over a year. That's coming up next, and this car, bright yellow. I'll tell you what, that's a sharp-looking vehicle right there.
That is
Melissa.
And that's a Thunderbird.
Awesome.
She's in. Melissa Swingler, the president of this year's Strawberry Festival.
Two nice young ladies sitting there with her on the back of this convertible. A lot of convertibles probably today, as nice as it is outside.
Yeah, it's a good day. They could be down and waving to the crowd.
You know, I mentioned it. I think I mentioned it on the show the other day. It looked like it was going to be beautiful weather for this week, and it has been. The Lord really
definitely has. And I know the ones in charge are always nervous. Is this going to be the year we get rain? We've seen rain. We broadcasted in the rain many times.
Sure enough. This is her family with her also. Her
Good to
husband
see
driving the car with her today.
Melissa and her husband. Of course, her brother Ashley Culpepper last year was the festival president. Turned it over to his sister, and she's been a volunteer for many years. Former hostess princess as well. Coming up next, Chelsea Caraway, who is a former hostess princess as well, now the general chairman of the West Tennessee Strawberry Festival.
That's right.
Here in just a couple of days, she'll be taking over as the new president. And her husband, Gary, waving to the crowd and driving them down in that nice black Corvette.
And got that strawberry blanket on the back. Look
there. Only at the Strawberry Festival will you see so many quilts with strawberries. I wonder, where do they all come from? And here coming next is from the Humboldt Chamber of Commerce and their entry. Ashley Culpepper and his wife Beth driving today. The youngsters, Anna Surratt's two twins, and then their daughter Josie.
They have been this year's administrative coordinator, and I'll tell you what, done a great job keeping everything together. It's just a lot of events to keep up with.
Oh, absolutely. And the youngsters there doing a good time. Saw Anna yesterday, and she said they did well.
Yeah.
The little boy was trying to pull off, and he is now. He's pulling the feathers and stuff off.
There's Miss Amanda Love with the Humboldt Chamber. Also Anna Surratt, her husband.
Mm-hmm. She's got the wave going down today. Amanda's practicing her princess wave.
Yes. All right.
Here's Miss Tennessee coming up behind here in her convertible, waving to the crowd today in her pretty red dress and crown.
That is Katie Davis.
Yeah. She's waving, getting some cheers over there. Must be some folks looks like know her well.
Yeah.
Of course, she travels across the state advocating to the young people, and a great influence our Miss Tennessees are.
And here's the first of the politicians coming through today, David Kustoff.
Yeah, he's waving to the crowd today. He's out walking. Good to see David Kustoff here today.
And they're giving out American flags.
Yeah. And he's going to pass some of those out to the young folks.
That's right.
And I'm guessing that's his wife most likely with him there in the front.
Yes, sir. Got a team following with signs and shirts. Kustoff for Congress.
And he has to try to keep up with everything. They keep moving on. He's still handing and shaking hands today.
He's got also a bright red truck, Ford truck there, and a big sign in the back. Again, that red's going to grab a lot of people's attention.
Oh, absolutely.
And there's also an ATV behind him as well.
Yeah, he has always a lot of entries in the parades. Congressman from the 8th District here in West Tennessee.
And he comes to Humboldt quite regularly.
Yes, he does. He's a very active congressman at a lot of events across the area. He is definitely out seeing those in the communities. And some of these, Seth, are not numbered of who they are.
Yeah, it's not identifying who they are.
And it may be on the other side, so we're going to guess at these as we can on some of those.
We got the Humboldt Hall of Fame honoree today.
Yeah, that's Valerie Hockett. I went to school with her. We graduated together.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, good to see Valerie. She's been very successful in her genre of music. Very unique style.
Okay.
I don't know what the officially calls. It's got a bluegrass style. Very, very unique.
Also have an entry here from the Greater Gibson and Milan Chamber of Commerce, Director of Economic Development, coming through the
waving to the crowd today. Several of those in there together. Some of these will combine. There's Mr. Bill Hickerson. He's driving for Anna Pope, the Executive Director. And they wave to the crowd today. Saw Bill yesterday afternoon. He was loading up the Hatties. You've seen the little figures they're made down there. He was taking some of those to the Stegall Museum, and he said he was in his suit still. He said it's hot to be doing that.
All right, State Representative Jimmy Eldridge. This will be his last time to go through the parade as State Representative. He's running for Jackson Mayor.
Yes, sir. He is definitely doing that. Good to see Jimmy in today's parade. I always say if you give Mr. Jimmy a microphone, he says he don't say much. He's not telling the whole story. Love Jimmy, great folks, and got to know his son, Stephen. Great folks there. Logan Hampton from Lane College, who is the president at Lane, waving.
Look at there, he's got that red coat on today. He knows where he's at. He's got that red coat on today. He's been in Humboldt the last week or so at the Bird and Burger Dinner.
Yeah.
He was the one that spoke at that for the Boys and Girls Club.
And I know he's warm today. He's facing the sun.
That's right.
Re-elect Cindy Flowers was Circuit Court Clerk of Gibson County. She's here with her entry, waving to the crowd. We'll see many politicians, those seeking offices, those running for offices in today's parade. Big elections coming up in August in Gibson County.
Yes, sir.
Here is one of the commissioners here, and he's going to come in his black Ford truck there. Man, look how these trucks are polished up.
Yeah, the F-250, and he's riding high today. Those are big wheels on that thing, man.
Tony Parker, one of the commissioners. And Mr. Ed Jackson, I believe this is, coming next here. He's got his convertible decorated there with the Tennessee state flag.
He's walking behind as well, making sure he has the opportunity to make that contact with those voters. State Senate.
Good to see Mr. Jackson in today's parade, waving to the crowd. Many of these guys out and ladies out walking today.
That's right. It's a beautiful day out here, and I'll tell you what, we're sitting at 82 degrees and very, very warm, but it's going to get warmer today, getting up close to 90 supposed to.
Oh, absolutely.
Surprised you haven't seen more of those misting fans out here, you know, people getting those fans where you can put
we
the
need
water
one of those.
Yeah,
just don't work too well with all this electronics we have around us. Good crowd over here gathered behind us. I think some are trying to get in the shade of this tree and some in the shade of the tent here we're under.
That's right.
Again, we wait for the next entries to make their way up the parade route here for the 81st Annual West Tennessee Strawberry Festival. I'm John Blankenship here on the air with you along with Seth Wilkerson. We're glad to have you join us today on the radio at 99.9 and AM 1190, also online at goodnewsradionetwork.com.
We appreciate Mr. Tony Reeves for helping us back at the studio as well. It'd be kind of hard to be on the air without someone at the board, wouldn't it, John?
Yeah, we definitely need Tony, and he does a fine job. He's staying cool, and he reminded me earlier that it's cool in there.
Yes.
Thank you, Tony. Thank you.
This is another vehicle by Ed Jackson, but they're also advertising a veterans program in November 9th.
Yeah, that'll be at Inglewood Baptist in Jackson.
They also do a veterans parade in Jackson. I like that. Downtown. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It'll be on the next day, Saturday, November 10th. And it says on the 11th hour. Both of these events are free, and they're brought to you by the West Tennessee Veterans Committee. So put that on your calendar, November 9th and 10th. Honor the veterans that weekend.
And coming up next here is State Representative Curtis Halford. He's waving to the crowd.
Yeah.
Him and his lovely wife today.
You know he's happy because that state legislature actually got done early.
Oh, yes, they did. Mm-hmm.
They got done way early and came on back. They focused on the opioid problem in Tennessee and got a lot done in Nashville. And he's back and
good
waving
to see
at the
them
crowd today. Him and his wife are riding in the back of that F-150 today.
Very involved in the community here locally with the West Tennessee Regional Arts Center at all the events and big supporters there and have been for many years.
That's right.
Gibson County Mayor Tom Witherspoon. Tom in the truck today with his American flag waving out the window. Good to see Mayor Spoon in the parade.
And he's also up for re-election this year as well.
Yes,
so
sir. And they riding through today.
Have any veterans here? Do we have any veterans?
And we watch as others and politicians are lined up in many, many vehicles still to come through. Many of our elected officials. Here is Beth Harwell, who is the Speaker of the House of Representatives.
She's just down. She's got home from a very busy session, and
we got to talk with her last year, I believe it was,
right.
on the air. Yeah, and super nice lady. More folks are out walking, shaking hands today, and this parade is moving along nice, Seth. It's not many delays in the parade route.
And that's hard to do when there's so many people walking. But, you do have another senator coming up. Is that John Stevens? Yeah,
I believe it is. Senator John Stevens coming through.
And he's got that nice Wrangler following behind him with his sign on it.
Claiborne Peoples coming up next with his wife and I believe daughters.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Circuit Court Judge. He comes to Humboldt a couple times. Is that a couple times a week, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
And he also operates out of Trenton, too, doesn't he?
Mm-hmm. Many folks are familiar with his articles in the local newspapers. He's been writing those for many, many years. See, there's Angie Arrington. She's driving for Claiborne today in that nice Dodge Ram.
She wanted you to know she's listening. She's listening,
yeah,
so we got to be careful what we say there.
Yep. Coming up next, this is Jay Templeton, the Commissioner of Agriculture.
Her husband was giving me a hard time the other day about my dad jokes on my afternoon show.
Oh.
He's like, man, you're really rubbing it hard today.
And Mr. Templeton waving to the crowd.
Yeah.
And the Representative Johnny Shaw walking right behind. He's a little ahead of his vehicle.
Yeah, he's nicely dressed.
Good to see Mr. Shaw today. Mm-hmm. He's a fellow radio broadcaster as well from Bolivar.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Now, is that that's the Christian station there, too?
They do. I think they've got a couple of stations down there.
Okay.
Mr. Johnny Shaw waving to the crowd.
Man, look at this car. Register of Deeds, Barbara Davidson. Sharp vehicle right there.
Yeah, that's nice. That's Chevy Camaro.
Yeah.
I'd like to have some of those.
Yes, sir.
And another one following that's pinstripe there across the hood in red.
Joyce Brown in that vehicle, Gibson County Clerk.
Miss Joyce, always great to work with. Serving as county historian, you get to work with these folks more often now, especially when I want to research county records. They're always a great help. John Mayer, and we've got a special read here, Seth, you've probably already seen here for this hearse that's going to be in today's vehicle. Sheriff John Mayer from Madison County.
Yeah, he wants to make sure everybody understands opioid is the new Grim Reaper. From the Madison County Sheriff John Mayer, he says they're in partnership with Tennessee Funeral Director Association shouting, "We don't want your business." In other words, this opioid hearse that's following along behind him is being introduced for the first time today as an opioid awareness project for West Tennessee. And it's being driven by Lieutenant Alan Castleman from the Madison County Sheriff's Office. Don't let this be your last day due to an opioid addiction overdose. In 2016, we had 1,631 Tennesseans who died because of a drug addiction overdose, and they just want you to not be next. They said, don't be next in that opioid problem in Tennessee. And as I said, our legislature's working on this problem.
Definitely.
That's what they basically focused on this last session.
Fine job being done. Got to attend one of the Gibson County Commission meetings a few months ago, and that was a big hot topic of discussion.
Really?
There's several lawsuits that are involved in different counties that are jumping on with that. That's David Shannon from Freed-Hardeman University.
Coming through in a 2015, like an Army Green Wrangler today.
Judge Mark Agee. Good to see Judge Agee in today's parade. The judge waving to the crowd.
Yes, sir.
I like following Judge Agee on Facebook.
Yeah. And he's always connected, even with like local deaths and that kind of thing. I've seen him offering condolences, and then also local events he's pushing. He doesn't just get in there and be the judge. He pushes everything local as well. So
exactly. Again, we thank our sponsor Seth for making our coverage possible today. We'll go through that complete list: Pritchard Real Estate and Appraisals, People's Furniture Company, Humboldt Utilities, Jones Family of Companies, Humboldt Public Library, Robert Ellis Paint and Body Shop, as well as Gene Langley Ford, Dover Automotive, State Farm Agent Randy Terry, the Humboldt Historical Society, King Tire Company, Humboldt Chamber of Commerce, and Hickman Realty Group.
These ladies coming up next, they've had quite a week, a busy week, and but I'm sure it's a week that they will always remember, a special week as our Territorial royalty comes through for the 81st Annual West Tennessee Strawberry Festival. They're waving and getting a lot of applause too. A lot of families sitting here today, John.
Yeah, and definitely new queens have been crowned, and I believe they crowned some of those last night. I don't know, or is that tonight?
I believe it's tonight.
That's tonight. They have 3 different levels of pageants. You have the junior level, and then the oldest level of those. And
tonight is the Junior Hostess Princess Review at 5. The Hostess Princess Review is at 7. I don't show. Well, they did the Junior Miss Territorial Review last night and the Miss Teen.
And there they are, waving to the crowd. Stopped here in front of us.
On that float is Queen Bentley Gordon, first maid Macy Garner, second maid Laurel Wynn, third maid Carrie Willis, and fourth maid Hannah Bland.
Well, it is now 10:30. The parade been underway 30 minutes, and we're still really set at the beginning of the parade.
That's right. I got family members walking behind that Territorial royalty. Brought to you by Tyson Foods and Jones Family of Companies on that one. So,
coming up next, we'll have some more of our queens. Of course, the first few floats consist of the Territorial and Hostess Princess courts.
Right.
And we'll see those as they make their way up the parade route here at Good News 99.9. AM 1190 is what you're listening to. I'm John Blankenship, joined by Seth Wilkerson, here across from the Humboldt Higher Education Center, next to the reviewing stand.
Yeah, if you can see the TV station scaffolding, we are right across the street from that. So underneath a nice blue tent, and we're thankful for that tent today.
Definitely a warm day here in downtown Humboldt across West Tennessee. Beautiful weather, but it's hot.
Oh, it is. Yeah, it is.
The crowd has really turned out. I think folks waited till just about parade time to get here because of the heat, and they have definitely turned out now.
But with these comfortable evenings, downtown is hopping every night. So why don't you come down here tonight, enjoy the carnival, enjoy the festival food, and tell you what, it only happens one time a week here, so enjoy it.
And here comes the lovely queens in front of us for the West Tennessee Strawberry Festival, the Hostess Princess Royalty. And her court, the queen is Hadley Lindsay. First maid is Logan Cloud. Second, Amanda Simmons. Third maid, Cameron Brown. Fourth maid, Maddie Harris. Of course, tonight she will be crowning the next Hostess Princess. They wave to the crowd and got those nice bars to hold on to.
That's right. Little guy looks like he's ready for it to already be over.
He's tapping his fingers. He says, "It's done yet?"
You know he's hot, too, with that cape on.
Oh, you know that.
Imagine Mama's going to be waiting at the edge down there, ready to help him change.
Now, the Hostess Princess, she has it made at the top. She's got the backdrop behind her that's close to her, so she gets a little shade.
Yeah, she's got it made in that sense, but a lot of times they ride through this festival 2 or 3 times.
Oh, yeah.
So when she gets out of the heat, it's get in the car, soak up some air conditioning, rush down to the other side, and get back in it again.
And we continue with our live parade coverage here on Good News 99.9 AM 1190. Thank you for listening to Good News Radio Network. You can listen to us online too, goodnewsradionetwork.com.
Here comes that junior Miss and Miss Teen Territorial royalty.
They're going to wave to the crowd here as they come through.
That is Queen Jolie Morgan, Ramsey Kate Krause, Paige Smith, Olivia Arnold, Tatum Nolan, and then that Miss Teen Territorial in court. The Queen is Ashlyn Collins, Abby Grace Berry, Bray Williams, Katie Washburn, and Brooklyn Smith.
Yeah. And coming up next, more of the Queens. A lot of Queens in the parade. A lot of beauty pageants around West Tennessee are held. Some of these I've never even heard of until they're in the Strawberry Festival. There are a lot of them.
That's right. I wonder if Miss Okra will be here this year. I saw her for the first time last year.
Ah.
Yeah.
Some of these we didn't even know existed.
I know. I don't know where that one was from. But anyways, this is junior hostess Princess Royalty here. Queen Anna Laurel Bell, Kylie Barker, Ella Grace McManus, third maid Kate Hicks, and fourth maid Brinley Bunny.
Waving to the crowd. The Queen there, she's really waving. She's waving big. She doesn't have the fancy Queen wave.
Yeah.
She's excited to be here. And these youngsters were in yesterday's parade as well, and of course they come back through to follow through on the Friday parade too.
Oh, really? This is Little Miss Territorial Royalty. You got Queen Casey Jo McNeil, first maid Alicia Williams, second maid Kenzie Garner, third maid Ireland Rezick, and fourth maid Josie Allen.
Little Miss Junior Territorial of the West Tennessee Strawberry Festival.
They're excited to be here. You can tell. Now we're getting another band here, John. This is another exciting thing here as we get these bands and color guards coming up. I'll let you explain kind of how the color guard is dressed. But this is Middleton High School, Middleton, Tennessee, Tiger Band.
Yeah, the Tiger's going to come through here, and you'll see the color guard with their blue flags and blue dresses. They're getting ready to perform.
Flowing dresses, too. That's
And they're going to make their way up the parade route. They're very casual today, too. And they're tie-dyed shirts here. The presenters with the banner.
Looks like blue and yellow is major.
And there's a bubble machine there.
Oh, wow. Look at here.
And these young ladies come. We'll listen as they begin to play. I guess you recognize what they were playing there, Seth.
Yes. And could you hear the crowd cheering behind them? No, it wasn't the crowd. That was the color guard, wasn't it?
Yeah.
SpongeBob SquarePants.
That's a unique one. That's different. We haven't heard that I don't believe in the past. And they're very casual in their tie-dyed shirts today, blue jeans. They make their way here up the parade route.
So actually it's like a blue, yellow, and pink, as well as a little bit of blue in their uniform. Coming up next, good friends over at the Victory 93.7. Looks like it's being driven by Bradley Owens, and I think that's some of his kids there. One of them is his kid. I don't know who the other person is.
There's another waving through. I see his daughter, and don't know the other young lady. There's Bradley and his wife.
That's
from
right,
Victory.
Alicia.
Sherry's over here next to us, broadcasting today. Good to see Bradley in today's parade.
That's right. That's right.
And coming up next here.
I don't know if somebody has their dog in the festival this time.
They have a little dog entry.
I don't see a number.
I don't as well. She's in a decorated golf cart. There's a young lady riding on the back waving as well.
That may be from Steve's Custom Carts. I'm not sure. We'll see. Don't see any advertisement on it.
It must be because here's the official.
Yeah, there you go.
Trailer coming behind, carrying some of the carts, and they're not just a golf cart.
No, man, those are decked out. Those are nice, and that's owner Steve Harden bringing that through today.
Yeah, a lot of those being used today in parade. I would guess. I bet he's renting a lot of those and probably selling a few of them too.
All right, now this next person coming up, John's a very special lady in our city. This is Dr. Versi Hamlet, who is the school superintendent.
Yeah, she's waving to the crowd today.
Humboldt City Schools,
yeah.
I'll tell you what, they're a lot better because of her, I can tell you now.
Oh, absolutely. Super top-notch individual. Appreciate Dr. Hamlet riding in today's parade, waving to the crowd.
She's got a big job ahead of her. She has to replace the Humboldt Junior Senior High principal. If you missed that interview, you can go on our Facebook page. We've got an interview there with her talking about what the process is on that.
Little delay here in the parade as more of the vehicles make their way up the parade route here on Main Street in downtown Humboldt. Again, good to be along with you today. Hope you're enjoying the coverage. We'll have photographs of the entries in today's parade. Post those on Facebook later on this afternoon. So if you are not able to be here with us and would like to see some of the floats, the bands, and the individuals represented, we'll have those for you as well.
Sure.
A good crowd on hand, Seth. Looking down the parade route, a lot of folks are here.
That's right. That's right. It's crowded across the street. It's crowded down the street. There's just a lot of people downtown. Now, they're handing something out, cups out of this. I think this is Stewart Finance who has put this in. And they're handing out cups.
I believe so.
With their logo and all information on it.
It's a good way for folks to advertise their business in the Strawberry Festival. That's been very popular for many years. You get in front of a lot of people. They're waving to the crowd today, a local Humboldt business. And coming up next here.
This is, I believe, the graduating class.
Probably 68.
Yeah, 1968 Humboldt High School exchange student Seth Davidson riding through.
My uncle Gary Blankenship walking there in the center. He's class of 68.
Okay.
Good to see Uncle out walking.
That's including their Swedish exchange student. There you go.
Yeah.
She's visiting for their 50th class reunion.
And I can officially call my uncle old. Need to tell him he's old.
Gary.
He ain't gonna look this way. He's deaf. I can say that.
Oh my!
He's supposed to be looking for me today. Obviously, he's not.
Yeah. Well, this next one is coming from Humboldt Healthcare and Rehab in coordination with National Skilled Nursing Care Week, May the 13th through the 16th. They are celebrating the life stories of their wonderful residents.
Waving to the crowd today. The young lady's in the back of that convertible. We saw this entry here yesterday in the parade.
Wow.
It's a very large dog, white dog.
Yeah, it's got kids
like
even able to sit on the
That's
back
not really
of that.
is that a poodle?
I don't know. That didn't really look like a poodle, but it might be.
Man, it might just be a mutt. A mixture. That's proper to say.
Barking down Berrytown. They got kids in the back of this Dodge Ram 1500. And also, they've got kids sitting in the dog bowl up there, and the pink dog bowl's got a little bone, brown bone on the front left corner. Dog's name is Daisy. She's got kids sitting all around her and even on her back today as this white dog goes through.
Yeah. I believe that's from the Presbyterian Day School. I believe it's correct.
Yeah, they're all out of order again. So
yeah, they're not in the order as the sheet.
That's right. It's a Presbyterian Day School.
And look at the family and supporters following.
That's right. Mama's not going to get too far.
They're 50-plus strong following.
Yeah, and they've got golf carts following behind as well. I imagine they.
Wow.
Man. That's something. Another Humboldt business coming up here. Looks like Cashmaster.
Yeah.
I would imagine they're handing stuff out as well.
The crowd over here by us is beginning to gather as the ones that go through the parade and ride. Many of the queens and courts and officials will come back to the reviewing stand and watch the rest of the parade.
Yeah.
Before many of those will go to the governor's luncheon at 12:30.
Makes you wonder how many of those will stick around with it being so hot today. We'll try to catch a few of them.
Yeah. Many are ready to get to that shade after walking the whole trip back down Main Street.
That's right. Also, this lady here I actually got to meet the other day. She is running for Gibson County trustee. This is Melissa Workman. She's wanting to make sure you vote on August the 2nd. And Melissa Workman for Gibson County trustee. Car is sponsored by J&B Motors of Dyer, Tennessee. Got that nice blanket on the back, but she's chosen to actually sit down in the car today. Uh-oh. Got Barney 5 coming through.
Yeah, we see this one. This one's been a popular entry in many years. Saw it last week at the Trenton Teapot Festival. Good to see it out again.
Nip it in the bud. Watch it. Here we go. They got them all decked out in their uniforms and the old police uniforms inside.
Yep, they're inside waving today.
That's the Mayberry squad car. It's a 1961 Ford Fairlane replica of the Andy Griffith Show squad car.
Yeah.
Driven by Rex West, like a Barney 5, and Thelma Lou up there in the front with him today.
Now, last week at the Trenton Teapot Festival, they had dummies riding in the back seat. Convicts.
Well, we won't say that today.
They're not back. They're not back there.
All right.
Some of our fellow broadcasters from Froggy 104 and Forever Communications, 92.3 The Hog, also following in today's parade. Of course,
they just changed the name of that station. I don't remember
that.
Yeah,
it has just changed. Mm-hmm.
That's where you can hear John Boy and Billy. It's popular people there.
Of course, all the media works together so well here in West Tennessee. Good to see some of our fellow broadcasters that will work together on many different events throughout the year. A couple of their vehicles in today's parade.
All right. I think you was just mentioning the Trenton Teapot. I believe we've got one of their floats coming up here.
Yeah, there was a couple of those yesterday in the parade. Many of those will be back again today.
Yeah.
And they're waving to the crowd, those young ladies.
Yeah, this is the Let's Celebrate It's 38 Trenton Teapot Royalty here today.
Trenton Teapot Festival celebrating number 38. For a long time, that was a really small parade, and it's really grown over the last 10 or so years. There was a lot of people there last week.
Now, this is the float for the Humboldt Healthcare and Rehabilitation Center coming up here, John, and they are celebrating their life stories. They've got people sitting on this float. I'll tell you what, that's a really unique float there. That's beautiful. Got that picket fence with strawberries there on it. Somebody knows you there.
Yeah, that's our traffic manager, Rodney Minyard's daughter-in-law.
Oh, okay.
Heather. I didn't realize she worked for them.
All right, West Carroll coming up. The pride of West Carroll. West Carroll marching War Eagles. Humboldt Vikings played them in football this year again.
Yeah. They're going to perform for us. We'll take a listen. They are from West Carroll, performing for us today, and the reviewing stand making their way down Main Street as they'll head on down. Probably perform a couple of more times. Some of them perform as they march. Some of them stop. I believe they prefer them to perform as they march.
Another van from Froggy 104.
Yeah. Some of our fellow broadcasters around the area waving to the crowd today. They come moving through. They separate those out and scatter them all throughout the parade.
All right.
And some more queens coming up the parade route here and some antique tractors following. We'll see those as they make their way up the route.
Those front wheels on that tractor, that's a little different. Are they angled like that?
Yeah, I don't know the reasoning of that.
I hope that don't mean they're having problems.
I'm sure there's a reason. We hope.
Yes, sir.
These young ladies here waving to the crowd in their black Corvette convertible.
This is Miss Shyla Finnessy.
I believe so.
That is car 27 here. That's Miss Springtime. Car is sponsored by Baskerville Funeral Home.
And I believe that's Mr. Chester driving there.
Yeah.
But he's kind of hidden behind the sign.
Yeah. This is a 1935 John Deere B tractor. It's driven by Mike Spratling. Come out to the West Tennessee Strawberry Festival tractor shows tomorrow.
Yeah, that'll be tomorrow morning at Viking Park.
That tractor's going to be there, by the way.
Yeah.
So, 1964 Oliver 550 tractor driven by Frank Dodson following there as well. Got another tractor coming up. All these tractors, I believe, you can see at that tractor show coming up tomorrow. You may have to help me there, John. I don't see. Well, let's see. I might be able to see C33.
Yeah.
That's John Deere 50 tractor driven by Don Williams with that American flag waving proudly on the back there.
Yeah, they're coming through. Comes another classic one.
And we got a Ford 601 Workmaster. I don't have any information yet on that one, so we'll see. Oh, that's a 1958 Ford 601 tractor. That's Mike Carnes driving that one today.
Yeah. For Register of Deeds, Pam, help me with her name.
I would say Deathloff.
I believe that's how you pronounce it.
If that's not it, I apologize. Humboldt City Schools superhero of characters walking through today. What this is, I believe this is where some kids have won awards all throughout the year in their certain grades. You've got a couple of people from first grade, second, third, fourth. I'm seeing all the way up through sixth grade here. So that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, great job in the Humboldt City Schools there.
They pick a character every month that they want to spotlight.
Sure.
And they call them their superhero characters.
Sure.
And it's really neat how they do that. I'll have to talk to Miss Emily Burleson. Maybe next week I can ask her a little bit more information on that.
Yeah. Walking in today's parade.
This is the East Elementary and Stegall Primary. Very excellent students. Some of them are actually getting to ride in this excursion limo today.
Yeah, so after they march, they're going to get to ride. That's very nice.
They're going to have a blast this afternoon in that. You know
definitely. Good job to the students of the Humboldt City Schools and their hard work. They're getting ready to wrap up the school year.
That's right. They finish up next week, finishing up a week of testing. And I'll tell you what.
Some of our law enforcement officers, they stopped here in front of us and moved on a little ahead and talking about their time in broadcasting now.
Yeah.
Coming up next here, here's another entry from a...
this is Miss Medina Elementary.
I believe so.
Very best magical... I can't read
That's hard to read,
banner.
It's colorful, very colorful.
Maybe once we see the number on the float here, we can give you a little more information on this. But it's a beautiful... unicorns are very popular right now. Kids want their birthday parties unicorn, and that's what they've chosen to theme this parade float around.
Young ladies are dancing, and the bubbles are flying in the air.
They're feeling it today, ain't they?
And they're doing their part. They are dancing.
I'm telling you. Let me see if I can find what that float. This is maid Sophie Lipinski, second maid Meredith Moore, third maid Olivia Thomas, fourth maid Katie Bateman. This is Little Miss Medina Queen Ashley Cox, first maid Adelaide Madison, second maid Emma Bargary, third maid Ava Wainscott, and fourth maid Chelsea Farmer. That is Miss Medina Elementary royalty going through this 81st annual Strawberry West.
They all start to go together, don't they? They're all blending together.
Golden Circle Ford Lincoln coming through today.
This is the Junior Miss Gibson County Fairest of the Fair. Chloe Patterson.
Yeah. So Gibson County Fair, I would say, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Fair getting ready to come up again this fall.
Do you ever get to go to that? I haven't been in years.
Yeah, we have a booth for one of our nonprofits. We set up there every year and go to that. It's been there for many times, and it's one of the oldest fairs, if not the oldest fair in the South, going back to the 1850s.
Still well attended, I guess?
Yeah.
Good.
Very nice fair. A lot of work goes into that. Volunteers all year long to make that happen.
Yes, sir.
Here's another Humboldt High School class.
That is Thomas Raines, who had sponsored
that. Class of 63 there.
Yeah, Thomas Raines driving that truck there.
Yeah.
They're having a big time waving those red and white pom-poms.
Yeah. We were the Rams back in those years.
Yeah.
Another red convertible here, a Corvette. A lot of Corvettes out today.
That's right.
Good day to get and show those off.
That is going to be Pentecostal Temple Church. Barbara and Lewis Schutz going through this parade today.
There's our friends from Channel 7 following behind.
Yeah.
Good to see some of them. Yeah. Marching through. Hey, there's Mo. Looky there.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
I wish I had half the energy Mo has. Man, he does a good job. Does a good job with the weather.
They're wanting to stop and take a picture here. Eyewitness News. I'm pretty sure they'll have something about the parade on the news tonight.
Sure.
Just a little small hint. She's running around with a microphone.
So I'm guessing they're recording some stuff, probably taking some shots of the parade route. It's another young lady.
Yeah, this is Miss Dresden. Darla Mallory, first maid Tiny win. Second made Katie Washburn. That's sponsored by the Dresden Rotary Club.
Brandy Davis is coming up next. And I'm not sure who she is.
That is the National American Miss Tennessee Teen 2017.
That's a new pageant that I didn't know about.
I didn't know about that one either.
They're probably not new pageants, but it's new to me.
That's right. Golden Circle got another one in here. Golden Circle's another one that's going to have a lot of vehicles in this. You got Berryland presenting, I can't read that. Oh, wow.
It's tough till they get right up here on you.
Yeah, it is.
And they're lining up. This parade is moving along. It's bumper to bumper now.
Okay, this is a Showtime in Berryland. This is Miss Medina Middle School, and they're also their junior Medina Middle School. Miss Medina Middle School Queen, Havana Wood. Maids are Katie Hawkins, Madison Cox, and Brianna Willis. Junior Miss Medina Middle School Queen, Ireland Westerman. Maids Miley Patterson and Madison Polk. Showtime in Berryland. That is a neat float. You'll probably see that one in the parade coverage.
Oh, absolutely.
When the Chronicle does that again, I'll tell you.
There's some motorcycle entries here. They're coming through in those nice bikes.
And look at that big American flag following.
Yeah.
There, John.
Not sure on the entry who it is.
Yeah, I didn't see a number on it, so not sure exactly. They may have been a last minute.
It may be from the State Veterans Home. Well, the State Veterans Home vehicle is following, so.
Yes, so they got that banner proudly serving those who have served. And standing ovation being given to those veterans as they ride through in the Tennessee State Veterans Home bus. This crowd is going wild for them, and I'm glad to see that.
Appreciate all our veterans and their service to our country. Many of them carrying that U.S. flag there.
And then they have a few of them riding a float from the Tennessee State Veterans Home being pulled by one of those military vehicles.
Oh, absolutely. Very nice float. A big entry this year.
And they've got Highway Patrol also kind of going alongside them. That's neat.
They come through. Many of the veterans there riding on this next float.
Very proud of our veterans. That's right.
Absolutely.
And they're definitely heroes. We don't want to forget about them.
Yeah. Grandmother spent the final few months of her life at the Tennessee State Veterans Home. Granddaddy was World War II veteran, so she got to stay there, and great folks to work with her, great care they provided too.
They're still going through, and people are just continuing to give them a hand. I'll tell you, you got somebody coming up here running for governor, John, and I'll tell you what, he's kind of gaining some traction too.
Yeah, Randy Boyd. He's here today, waving to the crowd.
He's been to West Tennessee twice.
Mm-hmm.
He's been to the Forum in Jackson.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then he also was in a Forum just a few days ago in Martin. So
I believe he was the commissioner for Tennessee Economic Development. Is that right?
I believe so.
Mm-hmm.
And he's running off of this. He's a conservative businessman.
Yeah.
And he wants to run for governor, and so that's what he's doing. Randy Boyd also has a vehicle following behind as well, also has 2 golf carts of people riding there.
And he's working to shake all the hands today, and I know he's trying his best to do that.
That's right. You see the umbrellas coming up, it's not because of rain, it's because that sun is really beating down on folks out here. All right, we got a drum line. This is going to be interesting. Home of the Mighty Bobcats, Memphis, Tennessee. They've drove a little ways. This is Bellevue Middle School Majorettes drum line coming up here.
Very active. You'll enjoy these.
Oh, yeah. They're good drummers.
Yeah, definitely. Very good.
Man, that is not as easy as that looks. I can tell you.